All right, my friends, welcome to episode 339 of Prof and Dev Play Games. Another one of our very exciting pre-3 podcasts. My name is Larry, the professor at Prof Plays Games. On Twitter, over there is Anthony, the dev at SummerSpeak. I usually start by asking you how you are, but boy, this has been a shitty week.
It has been a very shitty week overall. Because if you're listening to this, we continue to just, as a society, let mass shootings happen. So it's fun times.
Yeah, the shooting in Uvalde has just laid bare so many problems with our society. Obviously, guns. Obviously, putting teachers in the front lines of fucking every pandemic. COVID, guns, whatever. And the problems of policing. And the fact that policing doesn't solve the problems that it's meant to solve. In fact, makes them worse. The shooter seemed to have had more rights than the parents who were getting tased and handcuffed instead of the cops going in and taking care of the shooter or confronting the shooter. Just so much lying, and it's just these kids are just obliterated.
Yeah,
point blank by an AR-15. They were IDing kids by parents' DNA. We're just slaves to
whatever.
The Second Amendment,
Yeah. And that's the thing, to get a little bit political here, that's the thing with even the Second Amendment. There's a lot of room there for regulation, actually. Like, even the Supreme Court cases that have struck down some, bans in different places. The one, I think it was Maryland, or Virginia, a long time ago, that kind of opened the door for this, written by Scalia, but Scalia, even in his opinion, specifically stated, this is not a blanket thing. Bans on different types of weapons, sales, restricted sales and stuff, is completely open still. There was something like, this one just goes too far, but it should never be seen as a do this again kind of thing. It was very clear in his opinion on that piece, but doesn't really look like anyone's cared after that.
No, and the Supreme Court is just so radical and just striking down precedent. There's a case winding through the circuit now, and I don't know if it's to them yet or coming to them, that's basically saying that gun permits are unconstitutional. So that it would be open carry anywhere, everywhere, except of course, in the Supreme Court or an NRA convention.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's plenty of room for things here, and there's other places that have just, well, I wouldn't say have more guns, have a higher percentage of their population where the guns are distributed, because that's the crazy thing in the U.S. is that the stat was 3% of the adult population owns 50% of the guns.
Sounds about right.
But these things don't happen in those other countries because of a lot of other measures in place between a person and the gun, and be it registration, background checking,
age
training, required training, required basic, not oversight, but you need to basically have someone else is checking on you that you are actually a safe for society regularly.
Yeah. Right.
There's a lot of things that could be learned, but I don't think we're going to do any of them because we haven't yet.
We didn't learn 10 years ago. We're not learning now.
Yeah, basically. I'm like, okay, I guess this is where we're at.
It's so frustrating too, because the one way to read the Constitution is just read a naked text. Another way is to read the context in which it was written. None of these weapons were there in the founding fathers' minds when this was written, so that's not really covered. AR-15 is not covered. But if you want to say it is, then so is a nuke. I can have a nuke then. Well, I'm not allowed to have a nuke.
The only thing that is weird with that argument is we also didn't have a knowledge of the internet and how information is being spread and talked and stuff like that. These amendments should at least be, I think the Second Amendment would work if we cared about the well-regulated part of it.
Yeah,
But
the
we don't.
well-regulated militia, you know?
Yeah, even if we dropped the militia part, just said well regulated. Um,
Yeah.
but we've just decided to not use that at all.
Well, but I mean that's an argument against the originalists, like the textualists, right? Like you can't just read part of the text.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that well, then if you're reading the entire text, then it says well-regulated militia, and I'm like, where's the militias? And
exactly. Well, some of them are like, I got a militia. We got our militia. We're in the
where?
woods. We're practicing right now. Oh,
True.
fuck. It's just 94 when the assault weapon ban came in. Fucking obviously gun sales went down. Those gun sales went down, but so did mass murders. So did mass
Yeah.
shootings. 10 years later, when it expired, guess what happened? Went back up. It's the thing that's so frustrating, and I think we experienced that a little bit personally. Is like the argument of like, it's not time for politics.
Yeah.
It's not time for criticizing. It's like that's what people say to not have the conversation. You
Yeah.
know,
Well,
Abbott doesn't want to have the conversation. Like it's not time for politics. While I go and make a photo op. At Robb Elementary.
yeah. Well, that's that video I posted in our Discord, the Hank Green video,
Yeah,
of being like, no, whenever you say it's not time for politics, then it's just really theater, because the job of a politician is to enact policy. That's
yes, correct.
the core of the the word.
It's not time for politics, which means it's not time for me to do my job.
Yeah,
But I do want a photo op.
yeah. I want photo ops. I don't want to talk about this. I want to use this. If I say not time to talk about it, then I'm using this so that I can get fundraising and secure my base and blah blah blah. Which is, as Hank said, and I agree, very ugly type of politics. The game.
Oh yeah,
Not the actual act of debating and making policy.
right.
Because that should be the job, but it's becoming clear and clear that's not the job, and I guess it probably hasn't ever been the main job. The main job has been the theater, at least for our lifetimes, probably longer. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. Yep. Totally. Yep. God, it's
But it
frustrating.
does make it for a very frustrating time.
Especially it's like 90% of Americans favor background checks.
Yeah, I mean it's simple. Like, I honestly can't believe that didn't pass 10 years ago.
Yes.
With Sandy Hook. Like, again,
Exactly.
That's where my depression kind of this whole thing came from, was nothing changed after Sandy Hook. So why would anything change now?
Nope. Exactly.
We experienced this already, and we made a choice not to do anything.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what shocks the system into caring enough at this point.
Someone had mentioned, and I believe this, and it's not something that you'd ever want to have happen, but photos changed public opinion on certain wars. Graphic fucking photos,
I guess
photos
Yep.
of a classroom would shock people into, you can't will that away. You can't just forget about it the next day, and that's just,
I mean,
gross,
that legally can't be done.
Right.
Which makes sense, because you
don't want that.
Yeah, and even the part of me does want to force people to confront that, but then there's the privacy of the victims and their families, and you can't break that. Now, if it's going to be time, I'm sure some family will release eventually on one of these. Just here's the autopsy photo. Here's because they could.
Yep. Exactly.
Because I remember that was a big thing. We're fighting abortion, everything again, but I remember that was learning about that was a big thing with the legalization of abortion through many states, was showing the dead women who were having back alley abortions, and how that didn't go well, and that swayed public opinion pretty heavily. And I can't get some of those pictures out of my head. I think that was in a textbook in college, and I was like, oh boy. Like,
it really matters, man. Like, you can just forget about shit because it's not your kids. You haven't seen the photos. It's not visceral for you. It's just like a new lip. Man, I don't know, man. Hard to pivot from this topic to what we are here to talk about, but
but we should. And if you're still with us, sorry for all that. It is a hard week, and it's not going away. Take the time you need. I know I take time away from Twitter and online media to avoid it whenever I'm overwhelmed by it.
Yep, absolutely.
And my wife is also good about being like, let's stop talking about this right now.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to talk about, and it's just making us both sad. So
Yeah.
let's try to focus on other things for a little bit.
Something like video games.
Yeah.
We are in our pre-3 mode, which is, this is the last podcast, I guess, because Sony State of Play is June 2nd. I'm not sure if it really, I don't know, it's the pre-3 area, but, it's Sony third-party stuff, basically. It sounds like there's not going to be first-party stuff there.
No, and it actually sounds like it's going to be pretty low-key overall. I think it was third-party and like PSVR 2.
VR 2, yep, exactly.
It's not going to be the big things that people are like wanting to see.
No, it's not Ragnarok,
No.
Last year they did the same thing. They did a State of Play. It was kind of low-key in June, and then September they did their huge Sony showcase.
Yeah.
Which would be nice as a launch pad into Ragnarok, because it feels more and more like that might actually be coming out this year.
Maybe.
But for this third party, like it just Final Fantasy 15 or not 15, Jesus Christ, 16 is what I'm hoping to see, and then I'll be cool.
Yeah, I would like to see it too. I don't know. I don't know if Square will do it there, if they're going to do it themselves.
They haven't. Have they said they're going to have one? I don't remember reading that.
No, they haven't said so. But with 16, they've just been. Yoshi P has been clear that whenever they show it, they're going to show a lot.
Yeah, right. So that wouldn't be at this 30-minute thing then.
No, I think the
whole fucking thing.
Yeah, it would be a whole thing, and I'm sure there'd be. It sounds like web page updates with a bunch of details. Just in general, it's not going to be just a small trailer with a little bit, maybe even a little bit of gameplay afterwards. It's going to be here's the fucking game. Like,
yeah,
you will know what Final Fantasy 16 is after this event happens.
It'd be cool if there was like a little teaser and it says, "Tune in next week for the full blowout."
I feel like they've done that before. Actually, Square did do that. God,
well, do it again, Square.
It was at one of these press conferences where they did that. They showed like a short teaser-ish trailer thing, and then they said like the date that they were going to show off like everything. So it could be. Sony might want that.
I don't know what it is, but I'm really excited about 16. I think it's because 14 sounds awesome. I'm not going to play 14. I might play a single-player game. It looks Game of Thronesy to me, so I don't know. I'm currently rereading Game of Thrones, so it's
high fantasy again. So
yeah.
Definitely return to that.
What do you think? Silk Song? Any chance?
No.
God damn it!
I don't know when Silk Song's ever going to be in anything. I mean,
sometime during E3. Any chance? Team Cherry?
Where would it be? So we have Summer Game. So we have this Sony thing kind of early. Then we have like a very tight week of things. We have Summer Game Fest, June 9th, Guerrilla Collective, June 11th, Wholesome Direct, June 11th, Future Game Show, June 11th.
June 11th is like popping. Jesus.
Yep. Xbox Bethesda, June 12th. PC Game Show, June 12th. Overwatch. So yes, Silk Song will be in the Overwatch showcase.
Yes, exactly
right.
Hollow Knight is a new hero for Overwatch.
No.
I'm not sure where it slots in. Like none of those feel like I don't know. In my head, Silk Song is a big fucking deal.
Yeah.
So none of these seem like that big of a deal, but maybe it's not in the grand scheme of things.
It could be Summer Game Fest theoretically. Like I don't see any reason it couldn't be put up against like stuff out of, like they said here, EA and 2K and Annapurna.
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll do that. I still keep expecting it's going to show up in a Nintendo Direct at some point.
Well, and that hasn't been announced, that there even is going to be one. But I assume there's one, right?
I would have to. It probably did really well on the Switch.
Oh, God,
like, Hollow Knight did.
Yeah.
I even think of it as more of a Switch game than...
Well, that's where I played it.
The other platforms. I know it's on everywhere, but...
Yeah.
No, I don't think we'll see it in any of these overall.
One day. It doesn't matter.
One day.
I I have a game to play until
Sure.
the end of the year, anyways. So, which we'll talk about later. Again, um, God, yeah. But in terms of Sony, what are you expecting to see there?
Uh, it's that third party. I have no clue what's special right now. That's why I feel like it's going to be a pretty low key kind of thing overall. Um,
Right, because you can't even really like name stuff.
yeah, because they don't want to. They're like not. They said it's not going to really focus on first party, so that gets rid of like the Kotaku thing here mentions like Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 and everything, and I'm like, oh, that's Insomniac. That's first party.
Yeah, that's not going to be there at all, unless there's
Yeah,
like a splash screen or something.
I don't think we'll see anything on those games, at least until next year.
Yeah,
And they God of War. I would want them to do something with God of War because they keep saying it's coming out this. Well, I don't think it's been stated that it's coming out this year.
it
Has
hasn't.
it?
No,
No, but
nope.
there's all the speculation that it is. But I have a hard time seeing if we don't see anything new from it soon that it's actually coming out this year.
But with the accessibility breakdown being so detailed, it seems weird to me to put that out. You know, the year before the game comes out. It
It's
feels like
true.
a beat leading through the summer. Like I firmly believe it's going to come out this fall.
Yeah,
I would be willing to bet money on it at this point. Actually,
they'll just show something like you said in like August September timeframe, and then like, hey, it's
I
out in
think
a
so.
couple months.
Exactly.
Enjoy.
Like it's coming out in a month. Yep. Here's September. Here's a big blowout on God of War. It's coming out in a month. Perfect. Like we know it's there. We know it's coming. We don't need to see shit about it until it's about ready to come out. I don't, like, fucking, was it today or yesterday? There was like more stuff about Shredder's Revenge, the Ninja Turtles game, and it's like there's still not a release date. Just fucking stop talking about it until there's a release date.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely a marketing choice there.
Yes,
Which I do think people do get tired of constantly hearing about a game that just never actually ends up coming out. So we'll see how that plays out. But nothing in my head. I'm like, I don't know what's going to be in the state of play in that way.
Yeah.
Maybe some PC stuff. Is this where Returnal PC gets shown?
That makes sense since it's coming to the tier thing, anyways.
Yeah, Bloodborne on PC or a remaster.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's stuff that I always say, but it's got to happen at some point, right? Like
It does. I mean, yes.
Sony owns the IP. From is doing real well right now. Seems like a good time to capitalize on that.
Yep. No, once they've wrung the money out on the PlayStation console, like they should be putting stuff over there.
Yeah.
And Bloodborne is well past due.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna sell fucking gangbusters when people like, you want 60 frames per second? There you go, buy it on PC.
Yeah. I don't know. I am keeping my expectations low for Sony's
Super
thing,
low.
though.
Yeah, super low.
So maybe I'll be
It's nice
excited when it happens, but
yeah, it's nice that they're so far out in front. It's like doesn't feel like it's quite E3 because it's not gonna be quite a big deal. But whatever. There's people who are paying for fucking marketing beats or whatever. Money's exchanging hands. Like we're gonna put your stuff in here, and people. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping for something. I don't know. Shredder's Revenge release date, or just sometimes just the Indie Switch showcase that happened, God, last month or whatever. Like had some really cool stuff that I never heard of. So even just something like that, where it's like I didn't know about that, but that looks fucking cool.
I bet you'll get a couple of those. I bet there'll be a couple kind of newer, smaller indie kind of things in there.
Yeah.
Which actually lets me like, go ahead.
I would say even just tell me that PSVR 2 is backwards compatible.
Yeah, I assume it is.
It's got to be, right?
Yeah, I don't see why you'll be adding PSVR 2. I assume all the things with it are additive to the experience. So any games looking for stuff from the original PSVR would still get all the data they need for VR gameplay.
I'm actually, now that I think about it, I'm actually pretty interested in the PSVR 2 information coming out, maybe in this one, because I stopped playing my PSVR just because it was hard for me to read. Like there were some games where I was playing and it had text in it and I couldn't read it. And it just, the fidelity was fine, but it was hard to focus and read, and sometimes
Yeah.
things were blurry, and that took away from the experience. I'm hoping that this fixes that. I play video games. I play with glasses when I play. I know you do too. But that's the only time that I really wear glasses. And I can't. It's very uncomfortable to wear it in the PSVR, and it didn't really help the situation either. So I'm hoping there's some fidelity upgrades that are meaningful.
Yeah, I
But I'd
would.
like to hear
Oh,
about that too.
they've already talked about that. It's trying to look here. It's 2000 by 2040 OLED displays. So
Pretty good.
one of those for each eye. It's effectively 4K across both
Yeah.
eyes. So fidelity should be a lot better, but I mean, running something at that fidelity, uh,
Well, especially that frame rate, you got to do like
the
120
frame.
FPS or whatever.
Yeah.
So, well, and then also, for backwards compatibility, like they've got to update. I assume the developers have to update for that resolution. Maybe I'm wrong. You're the dev. You tell me. But
Not necessarily. Like it should scale just fine, but well,
there's
theoretically, but there's definitely something to consider. Can can the performance be at where frame rate be at where it needs to be at that resolution?
yeah. What was that? The game we did a interview with the team on this podcast years ago. It was Table of Tales,
Yeah.
I think. But it had cards that popped up, and I couldn't read them. I was like, I don't really know what that says it does. So it's detracted from the experience. I'm wondering, like, do they have to update their stuff for it to be readable, or like it was probably
No.
perfectly readable, but then the screen door kind of visuals of the PSVR made it unreadable.
Yeah. And so this will eliminate the screen door. And like they
Cool.
probably don't need to update on that.
Okay.
Um
Yeah, I'd be interested in trying that again. So, I'm interested in PSVR 2. Plus, the fucking God, what the fuck are they called? The Move controllers just don't hold a charge. I got new ones and they just don't hold a charge. I can't charge them. So that's the other reason I haven't been able to play. And I could buy new ones, I guess, but it feels like I'm just throwing money away to buy new ones that'll do the same thing because these are brand new. So I'm just gonna wait for the PSVR 2.
Yeah.
But I am interested.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully we get that'd be a good thing. Just drop info on that. And then so that's kind of the kickoff, like a small thing, but really everything kicks off on the following Thursday, June 9th, for Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. Honestly, this could be a lot of shit. I'll be honest.
It should be a lot of shit. It should. Yeah.
He has good connections. He's gotten pretty good with the like video game awards having actually worthwhile like world premieres and things like that. So,
yep.
I just don't know what exactly it's going to be. That's the thing. I feel like it's like development right now is kind of there's a lot of stuff that just hasn't been announced. Like we are in this very weird lull of news because of COVID impacting things really. That I can't even. I'm like, what big things are coming out here? Death Stranding 2, right? I mean, that got leaked.
Yep, that's right.
So, but Kojima and Keighley are best buds. So, a Death Stranding 2 teaser in here. Could see that.
Right. Yeah, anything Kojima is going to be there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anything else that just doesn't have a home anymore. I don't know if like Ubisoft games will be there.
Anything 2K, Gearbox would be there.
Yeah. I don't know if there'll be more Star Wars fucking Jedi Survivor, maybe.
I doubt Jedi Survivor, but there's other Star Wars stuff going on. There's the Knights of the Old Republic remake.
Oh, right. That's right.
That's ongoing. There's whatever the goddamn David Cage stupid Star Wars game.
Oh, the Quantic Dream thing.
Yeah.
Right.
They were doing a Star Wars game. That maybe has not happened now because of all the backlash against.
Yeah, like do they take that away? Or are they like, well, we're good with bringing this somewhere else, not with you?
There's just been no news since it was first teased, so who knows?
Yeah, right.
There's that. If there's Star Wars stuff, that would be what's shown. I know that Respawn is doing 2 other games that have been long rumored, kind of overseeing 2 other Star Wars games, an FPS and then a tactics game.
That's right.
But those if they're not shown or talked about during Star Wars Celebration, which was this weekend, I don't think they're being talked about anytime soon.
Yeah.
And I don't think they want to take away from Jedi Survivor right now, where they just tease that. I think they'll wait.
Right, and it's getting all the buzz right now. Like you want that to roll with that as long as you can. It seems like.
Yeah. Trying to think. There's probably going to be some stupid GTA 5 thing trailer in there.
Oh my God, you're right.
Because there always is, right?
Yeah. Yep. Totally.
Some
new heist or something.
Yeah, is going through. I don't know if there'd be anything Ubisoft there.
I could see it if they're not doing a Ubisoft thing. I could see them. I don't know what the fuck that would be. Like Watch Dogs DLC or something.
There you go.
I don't fucking know. God, I bought that game a year ago. Have not even loaded it up. I'm interested after 2, but man, you know how things have been.
Yeah. EA, does EA do anything anymore? I'm not even sure.
No, they said they weren't. They said they were not this summer. EA Play was canceled, so.
Well, that's just them wanting to sell themselves to someone else.
Absolutely, like they are madly trying to shop themselves. What about us, guys? Like, yeah, Activision Blizzard's cool and all, but yeah, we're EA.
Yeah,
I know we lost FIFA, but
well, they didn't even lose. They chose to give that up.
Well, yeah, that's true.
They're just like, we're not going to pay you that money anymore. Sorry. Like,
well, and Andrew Wilson said something. I was like, you know what? He's fucking right. He's like, the value of the name FIFA is because of our games. Like, that's fucking. At least for me, it is true. I'm sure that's not the case everywhere else, but yeah, FIFA's corrupt as fuck. So
yeah, they're just like, no, we don't want to pay you that anymore. We're done.
Yeah.
But I can't think of. I'm like, what else does EA have? I mean, that's where they have Jedi Survivor.
Yep. Anything Respawn.
There could be something Apex in there, like a trailer for something upcoming in Apex. Wouldn't surprise me. Apex is still going strong.
Yep.
Probably just want to forget about Battlefield at this point.
They're not going to talk about that at all. No way.
Dead Space? Maybe Dead Space.
That's good.
That remake, remaster, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are probably kind of the stuff in there, and then I would think some unexpected pieces in there. Some of the smaller third parties, like I'm sure, like they talk here in this article, Annapurna is probably going to have something in there. And I have no clue what the hell Annapurna's publishing right now. So
exactly, it's going to be something that we don't know about.
Yeah. And then we move on to the 11th, where it's basically stuff I have no clue.
Yeah, Guerrilla Collective, Wholesome Direct, Future Game Show. Like even last year, I was like, I don't know what's going to show up here. Like
a lot of indie stuff. I bet there'll be a lot of cool games, and it's going to be worthwhile to watch and see some of them. Some of them are going to be duds, and they're going to land for you. But there's fun indie stuff out there, and it's nice that there's at least some shows that collect it to give it a wider audience.
Yep.
And then the Future Game Show by Games Radar Plus says that it will spotlight. It says 40 games, mid-sized publishers, Team 17, Thunderful. So again, a lot of indie stuff, kind of like that.
Some unique stuff.
It's going to be very unique, and there could be a lot of cool stuff there. Again, a lot of things that I think that you typically wouldn't be hearing wouldn't be getting like mainstream buzz.
Yep. Yeah, so it's kind of like that seems like the appetizer to, Sunday, Monday. I'm sure, Nintendo's always been Tuesday, so maybe they'll slot in on Tuesday, but Sunday, you have Xbox Bethesda on the 10 a.m. on June 12th, and then PC Gaming at 12 p.m.
Yep.
So,
we'll get Starfield for sure at that point.
Oh yeah.
It's delayed. It's delayed, but they're gonna but they'll show stuff for it.
Yep.
Yeah, Arcane's next game. Yeah, Redfall, the vampire thing.
Yep.
Probably some Halo stuff. Let's be honest.
Yeah, a new season multiplayer.
Yeah, even though that's
Perfect
dead.
Dark, maybe. It sounds like it's been dead.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. It's always like, I think it has now, I think, been proven to a point, does more traditional Halo multiplayer stand up in an age where everyone is playing battle royales all the time, and it
Yeah.
really doesn't. Like Steam, I'm trying to see where Halo Infinite on Steam right now. There is 8,000 people playing Halo Infinite.
That's pretty fucking low.
There is 150,000 playing Apex Legends right now,
Wow,
with a
man.
peak today of 350,000. Halo Infinite's peak is 8.5K.
Oh God, that's bad. Wow. Is it? Did you just
I
tell
mean, the
yourself
people
most
could
people
be
play on
playing it on.
Xbox?
Yeah, I assume that's what you got to tell yourself at that point.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. Oh, we're not publishing those numbers, but we're doing fine.
Yeah, I know that there's
Ouch.
backlash to their season pass model. Not the
Yeah.
model.
Well,
People liked
the
the
content and the
model,
progression. Yeah.
but the progressing of it was kind of
Yep.
obnoxious.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Because their actual season pass model was kind of cool, is that season passes never expire. So you can always just claim rewards from previous seasons as you play.
Yeah. That's
Um,
cool. That is
yeah, it
cool.
was a cool thing. It's just the actual way of progressing them was a
Yep.
pain in the ass.
It was slow as fuck.
Yeah.
Slow. I played for a weekend. I'm not really a Halo person anyways, but I was like, yeah, this is fine.
Yeah. So, I mean, they'll show that. What else? What does Rare have going on?
Sea of Thieves.
That's true. Which is
I mean, that still
actually
seems to be
doing
going strong.
these. Yeah. Yeah. It
I
has
mean,
a.
can you see concurrence on that game? Can compare it to fucking Halo?
Currently as of recording, it's 9.6K on, and its peak today on Steam was 18K. And I know a lot of people that I know actually actively play that game do not play it on Steam. They play it
Right.
through Game Pass or on console.
Mm-hmm. But still, even if you're just playing on Steam only, that's double Halo, pretty much.
That's the thing about it, and I guarantee you, Sea of Thieves costs a lot less money to maintain and make than Halo cost.
Yeah, exactly. At this point, you just give Halo to a different developer and just revitalize it in some way.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, internal studio.
I think it needs a really big fresh take.
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of, I wouldn't say it's worn out, but it's kind of in limbo in the current market and what's out there and like where it fits at this point. So it'd be nice to get a fresh take on its mechanics and what it can be. Like, I know it's probably a really hard thing to do anything like that, because you have to ride that line of, you don't want to make it too divisive to older players. You want to make it still feel like Halo, but it needs to be fresher than it is.
I feel like if your older players are dwindling, man, gotta take a jump, take a risk.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Oh yeah,
I'm not a big Halo person, so whatever.
Rare's working on Everwild.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So we could see some more of that. We're gonna see first party stuff. We'll probably see something out of Obsidian. We'll see something out of who did Pillars of Eternity? Why can't I think of their name? That's Obsidian, right?
It's Obsidian, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So whatever they were making, maybe we'll see another Fallout at this point.
I would Fallout New Vegas 2. Let's do it.
Yep.
I know what we're not going to see. We're not going to see Bobby Kotick come out co-presenting.
Nope.
with
They'll put
fucking Spencer.
They'll put him away. Just like, go. Oh yeah, because they're doing Outer Worlds 2 as well. So actually, we probably won't see a New Vegas 2 right now.
No, they're all hands on deck on that game
because they have Avowed and Outer Worlds 2. Both are the two that they're Obsidian's working on right now. Bethesda has Starfield. We won't probably see anything on Elder Scrolls 6, because why take anything away from Starfield?
Boy, it would be the time right now because of Starfield. Whoever, if they gave it to someone else and just said, Fallout 3 remastered or whatever.
That's true. You could do some of that, like a collection, a Fallout that, especially that, like a Fallout 3 and New Vegas remastered collection. That would be
tide people over. That would go over really well, I think.
I think it would too. That would not not be bad.
If it were Nintendo, I would say because it makes so much sense, it won't happen. But with
Yeah,
Xbox, it might.
it might.
Who knows?
It
Yeah.
could. Um, so I mean, Microsoft has so many game studios now. Do any of them
Yeah.
have anything else?
No, it feels like it's there's Perfect Dark, which is not anything. Nothing's come out this year, or
No.
happening this year. But it feels like they bought stuff like 2 years ago or whatever, and it felt like 2022 is going to be the year when stuff hits, and it's not. Like, okay, 2023, I guess.
Oh,
I don't know,
you
man.
might see something of Sinuous Saga, Hellblade 2,
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
because they teased that already. So maybe they'll actually show um, another chunk of that. It's Ninja Theory. Turn 10. Is there just a straight up Forza coming? They've teased it, talked about a straight up,
God, I don't know. I
just
didn't
a
think so.
straight Forza Motorsport. Like it's
Yeah. Just
um,
because they're working on Fable, but
oh, that's
obviously they have more than one team, so
yeah. The Initiative. What are they doing?
they're doing Perfect Dark. I thought.
They are the
No.
one doing. Are they?
Yeah.
I
No,
think they
wait.
are.
The Coalition. Oh yeah, Initiative is doing Perfect Dark. Yeah, Coalition is the Gears folks.
Yep. Perfect Dark. That was announced at Game Awards 2020, and we've heard nothing about
Perfect
it
Dark.
since then. Yeah.
It's like Bayonetta 3 was announced at the Game Awards 2017.
Yeah.
Well, it's like fucking vaporware at this point. Feels like. Um,
Yep.
I
Playground.
don't know.
Yeah. Double Fine might have something. That's right. They own Double Fine. They just put out Psychonauts 2, but Double Fine is
Yeah.
quick about making games. So, and they haven't announced what they're working on after Psychonauts 2. So,
Grim
that's a
Fandango
possibility.
2.
Could
Yeah,
be.
that could
I
that seems like a pretty good possibility actually, because that's Psychonauts been out for a while.
Yeah. Coalition. Is there anything new? Gears of War.
It's been a
Gears.
while since 5, so oh no, Gears Tactics was out.
Yeah, it was
Um,
2020.
yeah, exactly. So it seems ripe for more
It's
gun
been
saws.
gun saws. Yep.
What about any God? There's no like co-marketing stuff, is there? Like Xbox just has so much shit on their own. Well, seemingly.
At this
Um,
point, probably not. I mean,
Call of
a
Duty.
lot. They could theoretically.
Ugh,
Yeah, I guess any of that Activision stuff could be
yeah.
co-marketed.
Maybe they'll wait till
Actually,
like
definitely, they'll probably co-market the Activision stuff here because they're buying that company.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Right. They want that stuff to be sold, but
so
gross. But then
Call of
I
Duty,
get
probably Call of Duty. I don't.
Codex like the only way you're gonna get Call of Duty in your stage is if I'm the one presenting it.
Oh, geez.
That's not happening, but
No,
um,
Kodak usually never
no, he doesn't.
went on.
Really.
He doesn't do that crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would be anything out of Call of Duty. Could be on Microsoft stage, but there you go. They're gonna buy Activision Blizzard, and they're gonna assign one of those teams to Halo.
That could be fucking cool. That could be a shot in the arm that it needs.
Sledgehammer or
Oh my god,
Treyarch
dude!
or one of those.
What a great idea.
That's
That's like makes that'd be really cool. Which means it won't probably happen.
no, but I mean they'll have a number of very good FPS teams.
Yeah. Huh. Dang, I didn't even thought of that.
So
PC gaming show. Do you think we're gonna see any Cyberpunk 2077 DLC?
I would like to, but I don't think so.
Yeah. You're gonna be quiet a little bit longer.
Yeah. Actually, I think this is where they're going to see some of the man. I think this is likely where you'll see some of the Gearbox PC specific stuff, like Homeworld 3. Will probably be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff that just doesn't work on console.
Yeah.
What won't be there will be Bloodlines 2, because I think that game is. I don't even know what's going on with that game anymore.
Like DOA.
Yeah. But yeah, Paradox stuff would probably be here as well. Whatever they're working on. I know they're working on mostly internal IP stuff, not looking for external. So it could be other World of Darkness stuff, since Paradox owns World of Darkness. So they probably have something else in that world, in that universe to show. But that would be my guess. It's like those big PC specific publishers that you see a lot of. maybe Coffee Stain, who published Valheim and Deep Rock Galactic and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Lost Ark, maybe.
yeah,
If-
Lost Ark could totally be in there somewhere.
Or at
Yeah,
least maybe even just like Amazon Games in general having something.
something they got to do something, right?
Yeah,
Show that
I would
they're
assume
worth
so.
something.
Yes, exactly.
Um,
Video games sounded cool. We thought we'd do something, but then we didn't know what to do. So we just brought over something from Korea.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's probably
Diablo,
where it is.
Diablo
What's
3?
that? No.
Diablo 4, I mean?
No, I think Blizzard would do their own thing for that.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do their, like, this is the thing showing that even for Overwatch, they're doing their own event for Overwatch.
Yeah.
So
right.
I figured if Blizzard had something to show for Diablo 4, they would just do their own presentation. And I don't think we're there yet. I don't.
No, I'm not there yet. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I need that guy to be gone to care.
Yep.
So waiting for him to be gone so I can buy Diablo 2 remake.
Yep.
Give my money to Xbox instead of these fucks.
That's when he'll be gone. Is after that acquisition happens, he gets a big chunk of money and then he pieces out, which sucks from like a grand universal karma sense.
Yeah.
But I'm also like, good, go away, fine.
Yep.
Go swim in your pool of money. But if I don't have to hear from you again ever, it's awesome. I never want to hear your name.
Yep. I've had situations like that with leaders in my career. It's like, just give them the money. Bye. It'll make everyone's life better.
Yep.
So, and it has. So,
yeah. So
even that person's life, I'm sure.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they have all the money they need already. So
exactly. Yeah.
Um.
Overwatch, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
And
then these other two, August.
Yeah,
so I think there's going to be a lot before August. Is the thing.
I think so too. I think there's going to be a lot in the June 11th week or 12th week. Like there's still, like I said, Nintendo.
Yeah, I feel like Nintendo's always dropped
Tuesday.
that they're doing it.
Tuesday.
Yeah, they always do it shortly before they're actually going to present anything.
Yes, exactly.
So
exactly. They're like it'll be next week, and they have a game dropping. Oh Jesus fucking Christ! I just knocked my fucking keyboard on the ground. Okay, where was I at?
Strikers,
they're
right?
dropping. Yeah, Strikers. Yeah, they're dropping Strikers on the 10th, which is I'm very excited about. Very excited about. So yeah, they'll be ready to talk about what's next because that's what's next after that. I don't know what the hell's next.
Yeah.
Nothing that I can think of for the rest of the year besides. Oh no, that's not true. Xenoblade and Splatoon. Are later in the year.
Yep. So I mean, they got a couple things, but it seems about time for not an indie direct, but a just straight Nintendo direct about.
Yes.
Hey, here's what we're doing, and this is around the right time frame for it. So
we remember Mario and Link, and let's talk about them.
Yeah,
that's what I want to hear. Maybe Metroid, although that that game's come out.
Yeah,
recently, so maybe not.
Hey, they might want to do more with that. I mean, Metroid Dread is the best selling in the series.
Yeah, 4.5 million or something like that.
Yeah, which goes to show that while Metroid is beloved, it is small for Nintendo's and considering Nintendo's portfolio of properties, which is unfortunate, but true.
I would like to see them reevaluate Metroid and think, Animal Crossing sells a lot. Well, how can we turn Metroid into Animal Crossing and just be like a fucking, I don't know, strange planet bounty hunter sim? Where you just like got a little homestead and you got a ranger once in a while.
You save the animals and bring them to your homestead.
Exactly.
That's all you're doing.
I think that's a winning idea, Nintendo. Mr. Nintendo, you can have it for free.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Then you got THQ Nordic Showcase, which they just have. The Embracer Group just has a ton of shit. They just bought Square Enix West, basically.
Yeah, almost all of it, and they got most of the IPs. Not all of them, but they got
fucking Tomb Raider.
Yep, Tomb Raider and Deus Ex, and they got a couple others in there. But they got Crystal Dynamics and Square Enix Montreal. So they have a bunch. That's the thing with it is like I think Square was spending way too much money on the Tomb Raider games for the fact that they could sell what they did and still be a disappointment.
It's just
Like
every single
it,
Western game is a disappointment to them.
and kind of, but I think their budgeting was just super high on them. Like when it's
Mm-hmm.
disappointing like that, it's just like, okay, clearly your budget for making this game was incredibly high, and it did not recoup the expected return on investment for that budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, which then also goes like, what was the budget, and why would you budget it that high?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, like, these companies aren't small. Crystal Dynamics is not small, so it's probably expensive to run and keep it going, and it's hard to, I don't know, thread that needle on your budget to graphics that people expect and how
Yep.
things to look. So I don't know. It's gonna be crazy though to think that they're now part of Embracer.
Yeah, it seems like the biggest part of like the most high profile name that I could think of, but maybe I'm not remembering some of the other ones that are up there.
Oh, when I said Coffee Stain, who did the publisher of Valheim, and they, I just saw them on Steam, Satisfactory, and all those games. They're owned by Embracer as well.
Hmm.
Of course they are.
I didn't realize they did Satisfactory. Oh, I didn't realize.
Yeah,
Wow, Jesus. Okay. All right. Well,
they're a Swedish
knows
publisher,
what I
and
know.
they really focus on those kind of like crafty automation games. And they've done really well overall.
Yeah.
I'm looking at other stuff that Embracer owns Gearbox. That's right.
Oh, that's right. God damn. Yeah. I take back what I just said.
They're so huge at this point. THQ Nordic, Saber Interactive, Koch Media, Gearbox, Deka Games, Coffee Stain Holdings, Amplifier, Game Investment.
Don't know what that is.
And then they also bought Dark Horse Comics.
They bought Dark Horse Comics?
Yep, they own Dark Horse.
Jesus.
Dark Horse Media.
Okay.
So all of that, and they bought Asmodee, which is the
board game one.
basically the competitor to Hasbro,
Yeah.
who owns Fantasy
Wow.
Flight Games and a bunch of other
Mhm.
companies that make board games. So yeah, they bought. I don't know what Embracer's doing, other than gobbling up everything.
I feel like they're gobbling up everything under the radar that the big guys don't want, just to like make themselves attractive to sell. Like it's just like investing to sell later.
Maybe?
I don't know, man.
I don't know. They're based in Sweden, Swedish company.
Yeah, Embracer Group is.
Yeah. I don't know what their goal is, other than either that or they're just gobbling up everything to truly be like, oh, you're looking at these other publishers, we're as big as them.
Yeah.
And I guess with that Square Enix purchase, they are pretty important now, overall.
Yeah, they are actually someone to not forget about at this point.
Yeah.
They have a lot of IP that, I can't. How many fucking games do they have going on at the same time right now?
Yeah.
And they're different studios. I don't know what, like what's next for Crystal Dynamics. They're not working on, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I assume.
No, because all the Marvel stuff stayed with Square.
Yeah.
No, I guess that would be potentially back to Tomb Raider. Because Embracer did say in interviews when they made that purchase that they were going to be continuing those IP. They bought the IPs with the intention of making new games in those IPs.
Yeah, right.
So, expect new Deus Ex, expect new Tomb Raider at some point.
Yep. Future of games is bright.
A little bit. Like, God, that's insane. That company is insane.
Yeah.
But then, I mean, that happens right before Gamescom, and there'll probably be a bunch of stuff at Gamescom at the end of summer.
Gamescom last year, it was the Elden Ring thing they had, right?
Yep.
They're the ones that had that, God, who knows what they're going to have this year.
Yeah. So.
Elden Ring DLC.
Actually, at some point, that's going to be in here.
Yeah.
Because I expect at least one DLC for Elden Ring.
I feel like I just got to the DLC. I just got to Volcano Manor, and it feels like the DLC for this game. It's just
so what have you been playing?
Yeah, dude. Fucking Elden Ring, man, is just still the thing. I'm taking a break tonight. Every once in a while, just 'cause it's too dark. I keep talking about that, but I've been playing. I probably put 2 or 3 nights this week. 10 o'clock to 12 or whatever, a couple hours. And last time we had talked, it was like Travis had said, I should go to Mount Gilmere, and I wasn't really feeling it. And you were like, just go where you want to. And when I turned it on, I was like, nah, I do want to be here. So I actually started having fun. Just trying to, I don't know anything about the area, just trying to find a way to get somewhere. And I got up somehow to like the top of a mountain, and there was a message that I recognized as not a normal player message, but I still thought it was a player message. And it said, the rainbow stones will lead you to the treasure or whatever. And I looked and I saw one on the ground, and I went up to it and saw another one and another one. And then all of a sudden there's a cutscene, and Patches shows up and kicks me off the cliff. And I'm back down at the bottom where I was stuck from the beginning. Which at that point was fine, because I had, in that process up there, had gotten a stone sword key, so then I could go into the cave there.
Okay.
And I forget what was at the end of that cave. There was a monster and something dropped. Oh, some sort of talisman. It was a talisman that lets me do something I wanted to do. I forget what it was. But then I made it back up there and hooked around, and I saw where the map piece was, and I was like, oh, let's just go toward that map piece. And that was more convoluted than I thought. And I just happened to stumble across the ladder. And I remembered you talking about that on the podcast. I was like, oh, the ladder. Okay, got it. And then I eventually got to Volcano Manor and met the people who were there. And it's like, do you want to join Volcano Manor? I'm like, Googling furiously, does this fuck up the Ronnie quest line? It doesn't. Okay, great. Then yes, I'll do this thing. And then I started wandering around outside. And I was like, this looks like Stormvale Castle on acid. I don't know, like heat death. The heat death of Stormvale Castle.
Yeah.
And I just been having fun. I went, realized that I still had not gotten the map, so I left the manor real fast to go down and get the map. And as I went down to get the map, ulcerated tree, whatever monster showed up. So I took that thing down. Yeah, took that down. That was a fun fight. It felt really good. I beat it the first time, but it took a while. I had to be a little crafty and clever and fucking. Oh, you know what? Before I even did that, that fucking full grown. Yeah. It took me about 6 tries, and the 6th try, I was like, I'm just gonna shoot it from a distance with arrows, and I just got a bunch of arrows and got my crossbow and made sure I had enough and whittled it down. Like 99 crossbow bolts, 99 arrows, brought it down to like 5-6 of its health was gone, and I just took it on 1-on-1, and I had 2 centimeters of health left. Like, it was swinging at me, I was swinging at it, and I got it before it got me. If it got me, I would have died, because I'd used all my health, I'd used everything. My mimic was gone. It was just me. My mimic sucked in that fight, by the way. My mimic was useless.
Yep.
So yeah, it just got, that thing is so fucking aggressive. But then I realized that you don't have to. I mean, I knew it was optional anyways, but like I could have just like hopped to the right and went down the rock thing and rock bridge and avoided it. But
correct. That's what I did. I never beat that. I just was like, screw this. I don't need this. I don't need to deal with this crap.
It was great. I enjoyed it. I think if it would have taken me, 20 times or more, I probably would have left. But I beat up my 6th or 7th try, and it felt really just like the rush of beating a boss that was kicking your teeth in. I feel great figuring out there's a cheese strategy to do something, because I'm beating the game. Like, I feel like if I were this fucking strong hero in the world, I wouldn't want to be tanking everything. I'd be trying to figure out how to beat it for real without dying myself. Yeah. So it feels legit, all of it. And then Volcano Manor, just like, this place is hot. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what's happening. But I think, what's his name? Godfrey, Gilfried, whatever the guy at the fucking round table hold, the dad guy, Gideon. Yeah. Gideon. The main boss at Volcano Manor, I think, is one of the 5 that he lists, right?
Yes.
Ricard or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I realized in that list I have 2 more to go. I have Ricard and I have Margit, which is in the capital. My guess is that when I kill those 5, Gideon tries to kill me, and I like fight Gideon somehow.
It's a good guess. It's a theory. I'll give you that.
I'm holding on to that. I do know. Maybe I don't know it right. Maybe as a spoiler for the game. You already know it, obviously. I think I heard that Roundtable Hold becomes a second thing. Like, there's a second Roundtable Hold at some point in the game. So I assume it's after you kill those 5 and something happens. Or I could be
Also, an
completely
interesting theory.
wrong.
I won't
So yeah,
spoil
sorry, go
any
ahead.
of that. I won't spoil any of
Yeah,
that.
no, of course.
Um,
Yeah, yeah. I just like recording my guesses for later when I
yeah,
think back. Like, wow, that was weird that I thought that. But I'm 73 hours in and feel like there's still stuff in Limgrave I haven't done yet.
probably.
I've touched very little of Caelid. Um, God, fucking keyboard. I need to fix this shit in my booth. I just feel like there's God, 200 hours easily before I beat this game. So I don't know. I need a little break tonight. The state of play or the days of play sale came on, and Ratchet and Clank is 40, and I bought it. So I think I'll play something bright and
Yeah,
cheery tonight instead of dark and dreary.
yeah,
But
no,
I'm
makes sense.
I'm enjoying pacing myself.
Yeah, I still think you probably have at least another your pace another like 30 or 40 hours of that game. Would be my guess.
Yeah,
About that
yes,
seems about right. I would expect.
yeah. Because I feel like when I get to that point, I'd be like, all right, it's time to beat the game. I can play more stuff after I beat the game, but it's time to like get
Just
to the
beat the
end game.
game. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's definitely a point where it
sounds
feels
great.
like that, where you're like, okay, like I know there's a bunch of other stuff I could be doing right now, but I'm gonna go beat this damn game.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, at this point, there's no way this does not get beaten as game of the year.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
too good, too fun. So that's basically it. Other than playing Metopia with my daughter, we're getting toward this fucking Dark Lord's castle is several areas huge, and there's some areas that are just like stomping us. Like what? We're getting beat at Metopia. What's happening here? So having a good time. We love it. We got all our characters back. Our house is full of Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins, Taylor Swift, David Bowie, Sonic the Hedgehog. Who else is there? Jack Skellington. All these characters we made. And she's just loving it. She's having
nice.
so much fun. Yeah. What about you? What have you been playing?
So I did pick up The Rising, as I
Hmm.
said I probably would last week for more of a research into like a crafting type game. It's you play as a vampire, one, and it's just like some light story of being like vampires were like rulers of the land before, and then wiped out and killed, and then you kind of wake up in your coffin into uh, a world that is ruled by humans and not vampires. Fantasy kind of thing. And you play a vampire, so I mean you suck on people's blood and like uh you're not a nice creature, I would say. And
Yeah.
you're going out building a new castle and taking on different bosses. It's presented in a at first you're like, oh, it's an action RPG Diablo style because it is in that perspective, isometric.
Yeah.
But you use
Right.
WASD to move around, and you face wherever your mouse is looking, and it's actually like um, left button attacks, but then Q and E and R and T and C all are like special attacks. I will say that thing like the combat is actually incredibly snappy. Like it is actual thoughtful combat. Um,
Mm.
not what I was expecting. Spacebar is kind of like a. It's not jump. There's no jump in the game, but it's like a blood dash kind of thing to get out of dodge attacks and things like that. So combat very snappy, and then the I see why it's so compelling for so many people. I am enjoying it, but I just seeing the loop now of all the combat. Like you need to go out and fight. I think there's like 30 some odd bosses in this world.
Oh wow.
You have to go find them, and they all have like unique attack patterns and like special stuff that they do during the fights. But getting stronger requires you also be building your castle and your base and getting more territory. And doing the like crafting loop of the game directly impacts your combat loop, and your combat loop impacts the crafting loop. Because
Mm-hmm.
defeating the bosses gives you new recipes and new things you can craft. So it's very tightly woven that way. So it doesn't surprise me that people get sucked into that loop.
Yeah. Right.
And then like the normal world stuff, there's a day night cycle going through, and you're a vampire. So if the sun's out, you better be hiding in shadows.
Yeah.
or you take
It
damage
is-
for being out in the sun.
That's what I was going to ask if you take damage. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, you do. You take a lot of damage very fast.
Oh,
So
that makes a lot of sense.
yeah, it seems you just play it and you're like, oh, this makes sense. I think it's a pretty cool game. It's early access. I think it's $20. If people like that kind of like world exploration crafting, it's definitely a nice twist on that gameplay style and not being done from like a first person perspective. Like I do like the isometric action RPG stuff going on there. Yeah, it has a bit more RPG elements to it because you have your different gear slots, boots, legs, chest, helm, weapon.
Yeah, that part looks so Diablo to me.
It is. It's very Diablo in that way. It's just that there's not random loot or anything like that. Like there's tiers of gear, and you're fighting bosses, getting the recipes to get better gear score to fight bigger and badder bosses.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game though. I'm glad I took time to play it, and I will probably play a little bit more. I think I've put in about 12 hours so far. So that's been pretty fun. I've done a bit more Path of Exile just to kill time sometimes at night.
Yeah.
Oh, and Vampire Survivors. It had another update. I had to get 9 more achievements, so I'm back to 105 out of 105 achievements.
Nice. I heard that game hit Game Pass recently.
I think it did.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I mean, sure, get your $3 game for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Just pay the person $3. Come on.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah. Well worth it. I mean, I've
put
I only played a
60
couple
hours in. 60 hours.
60 hours into a $3 game. My God.
Well,
they really could have charged more, you know?
It's such a weird game. Like, if you just start continuing to play it and you start unlocking everything, and just like, my God, this is a strange game. Because I don't know. I can't even really explain it. It just gets weird the way the progression works, in a good way of being like very unexpected on how you unlock things, and like gameplay that you unlock later as you've been playing through the game for a while. It's kind of crazy, the amount of content and like what it's trying to do. It's very clever, it's very unique, and it's $3, so people should just buy it. Like,
just buy it. It's great.
Just yeah.
Even if you're like me, who's like, I'm gonna play that kind of new game for, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds. You've got your money's worth. Like, I got my $3 worth. I played it probably, I don't know, 3 hours, 5 hours, something like that. Oh, I'm all good, and I had a lot of fun. So.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I played that.
Awesome.
And that's.
You're in a vampire mood.
I guess so. That's where I've put my time right now. Yeah.
I just remembering now, I bought a book that you recommended about vampires. It's like a game, but you play by yourself, and there's a book that you write in.
Oh, 1,000-Year-Old Vampire.
Yeah. Where the fuck did that go?
I don't know.
Go find it.
You sent me a picture of that thing.
I own it. I bought it. And then
know.
I promptly did nothing with it, which I'm going to rectify that this week. I promise next week I will have started that.
Yeah, I think that could be a fun little writing prompt thing.
Yep. Cool.
But cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this has been episode 339 of Prof and Dev Play. I feel like we just did episode 300.
Yes, probably.
What this fucking whatever times the flat circle. If you like us, rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we will be back next week to discuss the state of play and whatever else pops up this week. I'm sure we'll have some more pre-3 news. So awesome. Thanks, folks.
All right. Later, everyone.